Hey, Idaho Lions fans, welcome to the Detroit Lions podcast, episode 498. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. I am your dashing host, Chris, and with me is my good friend and co-host, two guys glad they didn't go to this game. Andy, also known as the Sandman. How are you doing, brother?
I'm fine. I think, this happens to the Lions. Twice a year.
Everybody.
We're gonna have another one of these.
Yeah.
We're gonna have another one of these where the team just looks flat, doesn't look competitive. It just, it happens.
Yep.
Just a rough watch.
Yeah, it happens to everyone. Also, not only do we get the joy of this failure from the team today, but I've got a capture card failing, so my video will be in and out. The presser video will be in and out. I've got a replacement. Hey, nothing wrong with a $300 bill on top of a big loss on a day. What a great way to go. I'm glad it's now instead of during the 24-hour St. Jude show, but we'll do that. We'll talk about today's game. We'll cover the post-game presser with Dan Campbell. We will have a roundtable conversation. We'll take your calls, and we will provide you with all the required therapy after a morning like this or early afternoon like this on a Sunday. Trust me, we're highly experienced professionals at this type of thing. We'll take care of you. We got a great show lined up. Andy, you ready to go, my man?
Let's do it.
Let's kick this off and break it down.
Yeah, all right. Okay, it's going. It's here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Hey, it's not easy. It's a tough loss. It was an embarrassment. It was a spanking, and you know what? It happens. It happens to good teams. Super Bowl winning teams take big losses. Am I saying we're going to win the Super Bowl? Not. I'm not saying we're not either. But good teams take bad losses sometimes. That's the nature of the game of football. Look, it was humbling. All four phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams, and of course officiating. There was just nothing that went well today for the Lions, and it's behind us. It's chalk it up. I'm sure we're going to see and hear basically that from Coach Campbell when he gets on the at the podium today. But Andy, what are you going to do, my man? What are you going to do?
As Lions fans, we've been through this before. This isn't the first time that this has happened to us. And really, this happened, like you said, it happens to multiple teams. I believe the Bills lost to the Patriots today, which is crazy considering how bad the Patriots have looked.
Yep.
And I would almost rather lose like this to a good team than to lose a close one to a bad team.
Yeah.
like how the Bills just lost, or how the Raiders just lost to the Bears. That's more embarrassing to me than what happened today.
Yes.
The announcers kind of talked about it, where it's probably a little bit of a few things, right? It's not just that the Lions were horrible today. It was that the Ravens had an awesome game plan, executed it perfectly, and the Lions happened to be off, just a couple of things going wrong and brings this. And then, this cascades.
Yeah.
Once a game starts like this and keeps rolling, it just kind of keeps going. And if anything, Dan Campbell and this team have shown that they're not the kind of guys that are going to roll this into next week. They're going to be past this. They're going to be on to the Raiders, and that's what we have to hope for.
Yeah, I'm seeing the swing from Lions fans. Look at this, right? We aren't winning the Super Bowl. Yeah. Now we can win a playoff game with this piss poor performance. Yeah, if we play like we did today, you're right. But we're 5-2. We've played 5 games. Pretty damn good. One game we lost in overtime, and we've had a bad game. I'm not writing anything off. And you can take the wild emotional swings. I'm gonna probably guess that you're not more than 23 years old. I haven't had this kind of thing seared into your soul over the course of a lifetime, because this kind of thing happens to everybody. It's okay. And the other thing is, as they actually noticed it on the broadcast today, that we've got the softest schedule in football from this point forward. It's a good team. We still, just based on schedule alone, could own the NFC at the end of the season. I mean, the Niners and Eagles play each other, right? I mean, it's a nutty world that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest fear out of games like this is that it's continuing a trend where when the Lions are outcoached, they lose big. And it's happened a couple of times to Dan Campbell and crew, and it's hard to say why they're getting outcoached. But, you know, talent-wise, this game should have been much closer than it was. It's, you know, just an off day for literally everybody, including the coordinators and everybody.
Jonah, thanks for being a good sport, brother. I appreciate that, not taking a bad. He says, I am in fact only 23. It's okay. 23 is a great age, brother. Enjoy it. But it's just, don't let the wild swings get you. Keep your heads up. This is okay. It's one game, and these games, these things happen, man. They happen to great teams. It's good. Yep. I almost prefer that this is a blowout than a heartbreaker. I think they can build off a blowout more than they can off of a heartbreaking loss in the last minute. I think this I don't know. I've had too many heartbreaking losses. Maybe I just needed a blowout to kind of clear the carburetor. Michelle, yeah, I'm losing video. It's as of today, my capture card started failing. Literally when I got everything set up for the show today. Been working on it the whole game. That's been frustrating on top of it. I've ordered a new one, so we'll get it back. We'll get it back soon. William, y'all need to relax. We're honestly due for one of these. We'll get back up, learn, adjust, trade at the deadline, and be just fine. I'm 45. Yeah, I hate to be ageist, but the searing pain of many years of Lion fandom kind of temper some of the swings. I think. Thank you for the super chat, William. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, yeah. Anyone wants a super chat and help pay for the new capture card? Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, do you think the Lions are going to be active at the trade deadline? It's not really been their thing.
It hasn't.
I don't know if there's anybody out there that, if Montgomery went on to IR, then maybe I would be a little bit more concerned that they need to find somebody at that position. But
I'm not super concerned. I'm interested though, because just the lack of depth on at cornerback, that makes me feel yes. I'd like to see another cornerback join the crew. I also, that Derrick Henry thing, he may not be as interested now because he wants to go to a contender, but boy, does he make a difference. I mean, if you think about that, you got Henry, Gibbs, Demo, right? I mean, just those three alone, just beating the snot out of defenses, the royal snot. And I mean, the blocking you can get out of Derrick Henry too. I feel like a game like today where our O-line had so many problems, a big blocking back like that could have been used to really help. I mean, Rodrigo in the backfield as a fullback, right? I mean, God, they tried everything. They pulled out all the stops.
They really did. And I'm for Henry. I don't want people to think I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to give up too much capital.
Yeah.
Because while the Lions look really good, I don't know if I'm ready to say that it's their year to make a deep playoff run. And sending potential draft picks that can be with you multiple years and for a one-off when you're not quite there is a little sketchy.
Yep. This is absolutely a playoff team. They're talking about it in the chat. Yeah, it's still just a game. This is not endemic. This indicative. That's the word I'm looking for. This is not indicative of who the Detroit Lions are, and it just sucks. It's just a crappy game. Dan, bad Goff is really bad, compounded by poor line play and no defense all around. Stinker. Got a bad Raider team next though. Bad Goff is bad, but the entirety of this team was basically a disaster today. There was no body. I liked what I saw a little bit out of Gibbs. I like to see, some movement on Gibbs. Didn't like a whole lot of what I saw out of Jamo. The face catch is never a good plan. Complete your wheel route kind of a thing, like run your routes, be on time, be in position. Yep. Didn't like all that. I don't think anybody played well today. So I don't know that you can point at any one player and say the game is at their feet.
And bad Goff is bad is true, but generally speaking, it's not just a Goff problem because that's kind of who he is as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was getting pressured the most I've seen him get pressured in a long time. You know, they were catching our O-line on stunts. Ben Johnson tried to get cute a couple times with like the left guard pulling and trying to block the right defensive end. Just stuff that wasn't working. And when Goff kind of gets rattled, he stays rattled for the most part. You know, he can kind of shake out of it, but, you know, I don't think the wind was helping either. You know, we all know Goff doesn't have the world's strongest arm to pierce the wind. You could see it. I tweeted about how half of Goff's passes looked like they were tipped in some way.
Yep.
Just because they were flying through the air, like rotating end over end. You know, just kind of a weird day for everybody, but I'm just glad that Goff didn't get injured in this game. They left him in there. They left him hanging.
Yeah.
I was really getting nervous towards the end there that, you know, somebody was just going to whiff a block and he was going to take a nasty, nasty hit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was ugly today. Let's see. Amon-Ra had a great game. Absolutely, he did. He 102 yards, 13 receptions. Something that I noticed about Amon-Ra today, and I'm not sure. I haven't heard anyone else say this. So, wait, let's get Dan Campbell on, and I'll talk about that.
Having to cover a long time, we didn't handle it well, and offensively. We never got in a rhythm early, you know, and we just kind of felt like they're playing with house money over there. You get up so much by a certain portion in that game, then it's they're kind of doing whatever they want to do, and they're out of their tendencies because why not? So, which is self-induced. Those guys they played well. They kicked our ass, and it's a credit to them. Lamar beat us. He hammered us with his arm. You know, he threw the ball extremely well. He ran when he needed to, and we did not handle it well. You know, our energy was good, which is crazy. You come out of a game like that and you look at the score. Our energy was good, but our detail and discipline, which has been so good over the last 4 or 5 weeks, was not good enough. So, self-induced. That was a combination of a lot of different things, you know, and just like we win as a team, we lose as a team, and that was one of those.
I don't know how much you can tell without watching the film, Dan, but how much do you feel the defensive performance was schematic versus execution in this game?
Execution. Execution.
What do you come away like most disappointed in? Is it that attention to detail? Is there something else?
Well, look, here's the obvious: is that we say this every week. We have to go into these games, and it takes every one of us to do it right. Man, we have to. That's where we're at. And when we do it, we're pretty good. But when we don't, it's hard to overcome some of these things. We're not that type of group. It takes every one of us. So you can say that every week. We got to be disciplined. But with this guy, you better double it up because Lamar is an issue, and. You know, I'm doing my job. I'm handling my job. He breaks contain. He starts going, well, I'm going to second contain him. I just left my guy, you know, because Lamar's out in the open. And then he dumps it over. And there's these things that just show up. You know, we didn't, man, just do your job. Handle your responsibility. We're going to play man. That's your man. Stay with your man. Don't have bad eyes. Don't have lazy eyes. Don't look back there. You just cover your man. And you know what? If he runs in for a touchdown, then so be it. That's not your responsibility. And then as you get into that hole, what happens is everybody starts pressing, right? Man, I got to make something happen. And then you get out of what we talk about doing. You know, we start getting outside of the scheme. You're doing more than is asked of you, and because of that, it creates more problems. And that's on both sides of the ball. That's in all three phases, really. So, look, we just didn't play well. And I hate to say it, that's one of those games. It was one of those we just could not get out of our own way. And it's a credit to those guys over there, man. They played outstanding football, and they rubbed their nose in it.
Dan, one of the reasons that we saw a challenging game from Jared was the mere fact that we couldn't get the running game going to the point where they had eyes on both the running and the passing game.
Yeah, the run game always helps us. I mean, it's something that we always want to hang our hat on, and it's kind of where everything starts for us. So we couldn't, and you know, I'll be the first to say when you go 3 and out your first two series, and then they gain 14 points in your first two. That's a hard recipe there, early in the game, and you feel like you get put in a pretty tough spot in both areas, and so I thought we would be able to overcome it. I thought we'd come out in the second half and be able to, overcome that and get some momentum back, and we fought. We just couldn't get it turned over. Couldn't quite get going, but it's frustrating. It is. But ultimately, hey man, things happen for a reason. The good Lord never gives us anything we can't handle, and so we probably needed it.
How did the injury of Muhammad and Khalif affect the game?
Well, here's what. Fortunately, it's nothing serious, which is good. Talking about Khalif. Did you ask about anybody else, or was it just Khalif?
Well, both of your injured players.
Oh, Mo and all right. First of all, Mo's in the hospital and he's having surgery right now. Sounds like he'll be okay. But he's going to stay here overnight. He's tough. I hate that for him. But that certainly puts a strain on our team. And then Khalif is all right. He got some cramps there at the end, but he'll be fine. But I think by the time those happened, the damage was already done. I don't think it was as significant as hurting our team in the moment as it can be. We were already, out of it pretty good.
Dan, you say maybe we needed it. What do you mean by that?
No, I just think that you don't want these to happen. When it does, it recenters you, it refocuses you, and that's all I know. I don't want it to happen. Nobody wants to happen. Nobody likes to look over there and watch them having a great time because they kicked our ass. Nobody thinks that's fun. But I know that motivates me for next week. It motivates our team. So I know that you'll do any and everything you can not to have that feeling again. So that's all I mean by that. I know everybody's going to be like, how can you say that? How can you say it's okay to lose? That's not what I'm saying, all right? So it's here. It happened. It'll motivate us moving forward. And the shame would be if we don't use this to get better for next week and it bleeds over into the Raiders. That would be the ultimate shame.
You might have already answered this with saying the energy was there, but we were talking about the balance of practice and how you from the Carolina game, you felt like you didn't prepare them well enough. You dumped the practice back to a walkthrough on Wednesday. Do you feel like that had any effect on pulling off the... Well,
maybe. I got to look at everything, you never know. I'll look at it. I mean, I don't like second guessing things. I didn't feel that, There was a time last year when I felt that leading into the game where I didn't feel that this week. But look, I got to look at everything and make sure that I'm doing what's best for our team to get ready and not what feels good, So now I do that, and then you guys are going to be on my ass about injuries. Like, aren't you pushing them too hard? I got that. So, but no, I'm going to look at everything. I mean, my job is to get them ready to play, and they clearly were not ready to play, which that falls on my shoulders, and there's no way around that. I know that.
You mentioned Lamar a couple times. Is this just a case of, him having some superhuman skills and doing some superhuman things out there and extending plays for 19 seconds, his ability to scramble? I mean, is it easy to chalk it up to that?
No, I mean, because there was enough time. Here's what happens. It's just there was a number of plays where we've got him boxed in, and it's long. I mean, we're back there. He's back there 6 seconds, 5 or 6. But it's hard to do. Just keep squeezing, keep 7 seconds, keep squeezing, because what happens? It gets long, and then I commit, and then he just breaks out. And now all of a sudden you've already been covering long, and so that's what happens, and that's why he's so dangerous. And it's hard to do, man, when you're a rusher. Because I thought we were pretty disciplined for a while, and then as it kind of got longer in there, and he's holding up, we just we got ourselves in a bind, and everything plays a hand in each other. Look, there was enough stuff we dropped in coverage. We did not play well enough on offense. You get in a game like that, offensively, you have to be able to match them stride for stride. And we got off to a slow start. You don't convert a first down and for a while. That's hard. You just don't complement each other. So it wasn't good.
Two more guys. This is a next man up league, and you've done that all year, next man up. But when a guy suffers an injury late in the week, like Jerry, and you've got to replace him, how much does that have a cascade effect on maybe your game plan?
No, I mean, the only thing is those guys don't get those, all of those reps, all of those prep reps, like Jerry got. Jerry got a majority of them. Now all those guys get some, so Will got a couple, but ultimately he goes out there and starts for us. So, look, it's never going to be like it is when the starter's able to get them. However, I'll say this: I didn't bat an eye with Will going outside and playing. Like, I trust Will, and he's going to go out there and compete, and he's going to battle, and he did that. And so you don't want it to happen, but it is what it is, and we were ready. So no, you don't want it to be day before the game or day of the game, but it happened, and thank goodness we got Will, and we'll activate Gilmore, and we go.
And two last one. Malcolm Rodriguez using him at fullback. Maybe you just explain that. And then I don't know if it's a bright spot or not, but Gibbs, yardage aside, he seemed like he ran well and obviously carrying the workload.
Yeah, well, Rodrigo, we think there's a lot of flexibility with him. We're always talking about how do we maximize the roster, and we've been heavy on defense going to the game. With the guys that we have. Normally we're carrying 23 there, and then offensively we teeter between, is it tight ends or is it receivers that you're trying to bring, or halfbacks. And so we felt like, hey man, let's give Rodrigo a go at fullback. We've been intrigued by that for a while, and we know he's going to the game because he plays a core special teams player for us, plays some defense when needed. So we just wanted to get him more involved. So we're intrigued with him. We like him at that position as well. What was the other? I'm sorry. Yeah, listen, I was pleased with Gibbs. I was pleased. It was good having him back out there, and I thought he took a step forward today. I think he was one of the guys that there was some real positive things in there, and I just thought he had pretty good vision. I thought he set some runs up really well, and there again, I felt, okay, he's a little better, and I just feel like the more he plays, the better he's going to get. So that's another step in the right direction.
Thank you, guys. Go ahead, Jack, real quick.
Can you provide any information on why Marv is not here today, and also the Charles Harris decision?
Marv was, that's a personal, okay, that's a personal issue there. We're all good. And then Charles, it was just, talked to him early in the week, and it was, last week we brought 9 bigs. We brought 9 D linemen to the game, and this week Pascal's coming back, and we were only going to bring 8. And so it was kind of, all right, do we bring J.O. or do we bring Charles? That's really where we were kind of at. And so we wanted to give J.O. a shot at it and see, and we'll see where it is. I don't know. I need to watch the tape, but certainly Charles is a guy who, puts the work in. He's one of our captains. He gets it. He was busting his ass in practice again, and he knows this isn't it. I mean, this isn't it for him. He can very, very well be up next week. So that's kind of what it was. That was where it was at. Does that make sense?
What happened?
You're looking at me like you don't.
So basically,
It's him or J.O. It's one of those two. I can't bring both. And so that was kind of what it was. Yeah.
What happened to Mo?
All right, there you go.
Heard Dan Campbell at the end there. So he dislocated hip for Ibrahim.
Yeah,
which is a horrible, horrible injury.
Yeah.
That's what took Bo Jackson out.
Yeah.
Yep.
In surgery,
what happens
that fast.
is
that fast in surgery. That's crazy.
Well, if your hip pops out just right, some of your
arteries,
other stuff can fall in there, and then it gets crushed by your hip going back in, and it's not good. So hopefully he'll be okay, man. That sucks. That sucks big time.
All right. Hey, I want to mention we got $50 match from Floundericious. Thank you, Flounder, for being such a rock star. Donate to St. Jude now. The first 50 we get will be matched. So your 50 turns into 100, your 20 turns into 40, your 5 turns into 10, anything you got. stjude.org/DLP. stjude.org/DLP. Write that shit off on your taxes and help knock the snot out of cancer. like the Ravens did to the Lions today. I think one of the things that we can look to if we're trying to look for something positive to take away, it's not the video capture that's on order. It is the fact that, the second half was not nearly the bloodbath that the first half was. And that's, I think, where people really can look to. They came out fired up in Baltimore. Coach Harbaugh said this is a statement. They were coming back to do more of what they did. We adjusted. We slowed them down. We made a number of trips down to the red zone. That was one of the things. Jared Goff ended up with almost 300 yards on the day after that disastrous first half, which that's not a bad day for your quarterback. Only one interception. That's not bad. They just couldn't close. And that's a tough hole to dig yourself out of from that first half, man. That's just too much to ask, I think.
Yeah, just a tough one. Dan Campbell kind of reiterated what we were talking about earlier. Is like, this happens. These games happen. No one's happy that it happened, but it's too late now.
Yep.
It already happened. The team has to recenter, is what the words he used, and get ready for next week. And I think I don't remember who it was in chat, 'cause I'm horrible at remembering names, but they brought up the fact that Dan Campbell can admit his mistakes and can admit when he's wrong or doesn't do a good job, and how he learns from those things. And these pressers just always reiterate that, remind us that Dan's on top of things. A bad loss does not equal same old Lions, even though Twitter might tell you different.
Yeah. It is what it is when it does what it does, and that's what it did. So I don't know what else we can say about that. So let's go ahead and open up the phones. It's if you use Skype, it's all one word, Detroit Lions Podcast, or you can call us 248-782-8384, 248-782-8384, or if you really want to get juicy with it, use the letters 248 rub you fug. There you go. Give us a call. We'd love to have you on and talk. Just a quick point for folks. Ash is out for the first 2 days this week. There won't be a Lions Daily DLP on Monday, but I'll put one together for Tuesday, and then he'll be back on Wednesday with his normal dose of ashiness. So love that. 5-2 Lions, still top 5 team in the NFC, which I think at the end of last season, even after the win in Green Bay and how the season ended last year, if you would have been told that after 7 games the Lions were a top 5 team in the NFC, you would have taken that, run with it, and been happy as any Lions fan has been in ages. And this is why I'm not too worried. We're okay. We're on or ahead of schedule. We've got the Packers behind against the Broncos. Holy cow. The NFC North is ours. We've got the easiest schedule in the league, I think, if not the second easiest schedule in the league left for the rest of the season. We're going to be fine, and there's a lot of time. The thing that the Lions have to worry about right now is health, staying healthy.
Yep.
And that's the big battle that they're going to continue to have to fight right now. So let's see if we can get one of our calls in here. Hey, caller, are you there? No? Okay. Give me a moment. I'll get this. For some reason, I've failed. All right. Andrew, what else do we have going on, man?
Oh man, I kind of want to talk about Jameson Williams here.
Yeah, I love hearing about Jameson Williams.
When do we become very, very concerned? Like, today was almost a laughable outing for him. It's very disheartening because you see what he can do in this offense, but he just isn't doing it. And it's he took a ball off the face, which is hilarious. And people are going to say, and people have been saying, like, oh, that was pass interference, his arm got swiped. He didn't see the ball. He had
Yeah.
one whole other arm to reach out, or he didn't try to fight through, the arm swipe or anything. I don't think he saw it. I honestly don't think he saw it, and it hit him right in the face. And then he had the, drop towards the end there that, was a pretty good placed ball by Goff. And that's a catch you have to make 99 out of 100 times. And there's just been too many catches from him that are the one.
Yes.
the one out of 100.
Yeah.
And it's, he talked about how he was on the jugs machine all this time after, when he was suspended, and, just still not seeing it. I think I saw a stat that he has 5 NFL catches and 5 drops.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy, crazy stat, and I want it to work out with him. I don't want people to think I hate the guy or anything like that. He's not on the same page with everybody else. He's kind of aloof out there sometimes, might be the best way to put it. It's just disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink so far?
Well, enough to get drunk.
I'll take it. It's probably as much as we all need right now.
Yes. Well, I've got a little bit of background chatter here, Chris. So it's a little distracting for me. And so let me just say this. It's the Carolina game all over again. And, I think it would be really good if you guys could do your various, little shows. Do a 3-minute recap of what you guys said last week compared to what happened in the game, because I think the Ravens did exactly what the Lions wanted them to do. They executed and got the job done. I have never seen her be that accurate, that precise, and the defense just take care of business ever. I watched the last few games that the Ravens had, and he was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He was mid-throws. He couldn't get anything done right, and the Steelers beat him for crying out loud. So it was no wonder we were we could beat this team. Well, they had other ideas, and Lamar was just on fire. I don't know what you can do about it, but that's all I got to say, guys. And I'll get out of here, and you guys take care and enjoy the rest of the day. And go Wings!
All right. Thank you.
Go Wings. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you, bro.
We did talk about at the fireside chat, when we were looking ahead past the Buccaneers a little bit, about how my biggest fear of this game was John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Yeah.
They were so ready for us.
God.
They were ready.
Let's get Jared Goff on right now.
Refocus and give an example from your career where maybe you took a kick in the teeth and it was a good opportunity to refocus.
Yeah. Shoot, the year in 2018 went to the Super Bowl. We played at Chicago, great defense, and I got kicked in the teeth. It wasn't as big of a score as this, but it was. They got after us. We got nothing going on offense. I didn't have my best game. Then we came back and won the next few and went on our run in the playoffs. And so that can certainly be the case if you handle it the right way. And I expect us to, but you got to go do it. Yeah, man, he's a special talent and is always tough for any defense. And I thought he played really well today.
Offense today have a interesting twist. We've seen fullbacks in this city go to linebacker multiple times, but just what can he potentially add to the offense here?
Yeah, it gives us some variability at fullback with Cabinda out. If he does a great job of it, I don't know. Who knows? Right? We got to go look at it. But I thought he handled it well throughout the week and didn't seem to miss a beat today.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, there we go. Jared Goff. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Not a drinker.
Hey, there you are. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink, brother?
Jim, and not a drinker.
Okay, good for you. You're a man looking out for your health.
Well, the big thing is that I'm trying to keep perspective.
I think
if we look at J-Mo, he's getting open.
just has to get on the same page.
Yes, he's able to get open. It's concerning that Rock Ya-Sin could keep up with him because he's not very fast. that was interesting that he was able to even get that PI in there. Go ahead, bro.
The other thing that I thought was really interesting is our defensive game plan. For whatever reason, mobile quarterbacks, we like to give that cushion.
Yeah, I think that's the contain part, and that's the problem. I think with those kind of quarterbacks and with our defense, we have to kind of keep that cushion and space there because I don't think we're fast enough to catch Lamar with the guys that we got. And listen to Campbell talk about his scheme. The reason we left Charles Harris there was because he's not one of the speed guys. We wanted to go to the speed that we had and lean towards, in that direction. It's just for a guy like Lamar, he's very, very special. And it's not a lot of teams that are going to be able to just spy and stop him, especially when he has a game like he did today. He was just on today. That whole team was on. And
yeah, I don't think they're going to be show up next week and be terrible. But the one thing that I thought today was plant routes and the quick routes with them, and they did the same thing to us in Seattle.
Yep.
So just to make a few adjustments, and I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm with you. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. Oh, no, it'll be seen if AG can make adjustments. It's games like this, it almost feels like he had one of two options. He can play contain and try to keep Lamar in the pocket, or he can try to apply pressure to make Lamar make bad choices. And it's kind of a guessing game. It feels like, right. It seems like it's one or the other. It never feels like we're doing both. Like we're going to throw some blitzes in combined with our, staying home with our defensive ends. Like there was so much crashing inside tonight or today. It's just, you can't do that with Lamar unless you get home. You can't do it with any running back quarterback unless you get home. They didn't get home once. Not once. Just it's a bad plan.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys, what you guys are doing. I'll let somebody else call.
All right. Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We'll call that one. We got another caller here. Let's go right into it. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink so far?
What's up, players? It's Mo from the Creek.
Mo! How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm not burning my golf jersey like some Lions fans. Be all right. It's any given Sunday league.
Yep.
But I would say our defense, it was spread like a dollar hooker at a Motel 6. Just so wide.
We'll leave the light on for you.
So wide. Say that again.
He said, go ahead, man.
So we'll leave the light on for you. Yeah. Good Lord.
Yeah. So
man,
we just got to regroup and get ready for the Raiders. I mean, freaking New England beats Buffalo today. So what the hell is that about? You just never know week to week.
Yeah. Yes. And honestly, this sort of game emphasizes how crazy the last couple Lions wins have been, winning by 14 and stuff like that, because this game is hard. The NFL game is generally close. Bad teams beat good teams all the time. Good teams just don't show up. It just happens. It's
right.
Yeah.
Hey
Mo,
fighting on.
We have a guy in the chat really causing some problems. It goes by Hefe Rysdal. I think that's how you say it. He had a good one. Complete and total loss. They happen. Should never look this bad, but they happen. Key is to respond the way they did coming out of Carolina last year. The Ravens are really good too. I think we collectively underestimated them, and that is 100% absolutely true. We messed up on looking at this Ravens team, and this Ravens team, they're just better than anyone anticipated, right? And they're finding their groove. It happens. last year we started slow, we ended strong. Teams kind of put it together as the season goes on. That's why the season's so long. I mean, look at Chicago. I mean, think about it just for a moment. Okay, so Chicago beats the Raiders. Gives me a lot of hope for next Monday, right? Even coming out of this, right? I think we should shellac them just out of sheer anger, right? But we'll see. We'll look at it. But think about where right now the Bears are when they beat the Raiders 30 to whatever it was, something like 12 or some crazy number. And not only do they beat them, but they do it with their backup quarterback from a Division II school. How do you think the fans are reacting right now to Justin Fields? I mean, this guy, I guarantee a ton of them want him on the market, like, right now. You know what I mean? Trade him, get rid of him. Oh my God.
Right. If I'm Justin's agent, I'm telling him to cut off the TV for the rest of the week, because that's going to be the topic, the headline on every debate show, every sports show.
Yep.
So
let's see. Really quick, I got to go back to. Sorry, I want to get this in here. Thank you, Pat D, for the super chat. I don't think this changes anything. Still think it's a 12-13 win team. JMO drops concern me. I think the worst part of these losses is the emotional swings of the fans. Personally, I think it's great that we're sitting here wondering if this impacts our Super Bowl chances. 100%. And here's the thing. This is where people, you're in this trap, man. It's like this, JMO is so polarizing for people. People say, oh man, JMO stinks. JMO's not the reason we lost the game. No. JMO's is one reason of 22 starters that we lost the game, right? I mean,
right.
That's that.
And we're so banged up. You know, it's just ridiculous the amount of injuries we're dealing with right now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So to try to, and so here's where we are, right? We're a 5-2 team. We own the NFC North. We're going to be in the playoffs. There's no question about that. What happens there is what happens there. We have the softest schedule in the NFL left for us for the rest of the season. And people are arguing and out of their minds over JMO. And then whether it's JMO's fault or not. I don't want to talk about JMO. You know what? I think everybody just needs to commentate the titties and chill, because it's weird. It's weird to see how people are reacting right now. This is just a loss.
And the funny thing is, true NFL fans know that you never are going to pick a team to go undefeated, not even your own team. And everybody know you lose in the NFL. It's just when the losses happen, it's like a reality. You felt smacked in the face, but this stuff happens. It's the NFL. It's not college where you're expected to go undefeated. You know, everybody's not Alabama.
Right.
Yep.
Oh man, and yeah, Don H is very, very right here. You can't leave the coaches out on the accountability schedule here either. Their game plan left a lot to be desired. I mean, everybody, the line, like, it was just a mess, top to bottom. And you really, this point from Don is just totally on. When it's all bad, when it is absolutely this bad, you just have to look at the coaches. You have to. And
I think the Achilles heel for AG is the running quarterback. I still think, I thought this was going to happen to us in Kansas City, but evidently he had a game plan for Patrick. But that running quarterback, AG just can't get a grip on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. And I think it's a little bit about the talent and a little bit about the scheme. And the talent we have fits our scheme, but our scheme, I think, is like, there's no perfect scheme out there. There's no perfect defense out there. And you'll see it, like McVay is probably one of the most recent ones when they got Stafford and won the Super Bowl as an offensive scheme, right? Wow, they really nailed it. Or when Harbaugh coached the 49ers to the Super Bowl, and the RPO was like this giant kind of new rehash for the NFL, right? And everyone had to figure out how to stop it. I mean, they find wrinkles, but there's no perfect way to stop any of these things. And what happens is follow the leader league. Everyone started going to the RPO when Harbaugh ran it, and then everybody found a way to stop it, and then nobody's doing it now, right? Or it's very limited use. And then like the running quarterback. Oh my God, we got to get a running quarterback. We can't have Goff. He's a statue back there. Justin Fields hurt. Lamar Jackson limited runs now, trying to protect him, right? Patrick Mahomes even less runs, not as much as mobile running around out there. Because why? Because these guys get injured and you shorten their careers, and you lose all kinds of money and investment in time with these great talents by getting them hurt. It's an evolution league. Things change. I'm not, again, this is it. So it's okay. It's all right.
Right. Anthony Richardson, didn't slide. Now he's out for the season.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, so we shall move on. And the crazy thing is, with the Raiders getting their ass kicked and we're getting our ass kicked, there's two teams going into practice saying we're not going to let this happen again. And so you just don't know who's going to show up next week. But hopefully we will.
Yeah. I'm
and it will be different. We'll be at home.
Yeah.
We'll be at home, and it's a Monday night game. It's going to be the loudest Ford Field could possibly be. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Regardless of today, I'm looking forward to next week.
Oh yeah. Just get this out the way. It's still a long season. We'll get there.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Mo, I'm gonna let you go, brother. Okay.
Good talking to you, fellas.
You too, man. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Mo.
We'll see.
Yep.
All right, Mo from the Creek. Calls keep coming. Let's see what we get. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much you had to drink so far?
Hey, Chris. Hey, Ash. It's Steel Hank. It's Steel Hank from the Slack, and I just wanted to say, well, first of all, I'm not a drinker.
Okay.
But sorry, I can hear myself.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay, perfect. Now I don't hear myself. Yeah. So I just wanted to say, a lot of people have touched on this today, but it's going into this game. Everyone was like, "Oh, can we win this game?" And I've said it a number of times in the Slack. I don't think there's a game in the rest of the season we can't win. However, we're not going to win them all, and it's okay to take some bumps and bruises along the way. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, man, that JMO base catch that stung.
Yeah.
A lot of people, he's super divisive, but that's not going to help his reputation. So that's all I got for you guys.
Yeah, no,
Thanks.
appreciate that, brother. And that's a great point. The JMO thing, look, he's got to help his own stock. He's got to help himself, right? That's the only way. God, I want him to help himself because I just want all the JMO talk to stop, right? And it's just like, JMO, be the guy. Just do it. Put 2 games together in a row where you're the guy, and just silence the people for a little bit, right? Get yourself some space. I hate this where these guys don't get a chance, whether they're quarterbacks, wide receivers, whatever. And it's almost a curse to be on a team like the Lions because it's there's no patience. Like, people are just so, like, this game and this reaction I'm seeing in the chat and from people, I'm stunned. Like, I'm stunned how little confidence people have, or like, when's the last, like Hank said, and Mo before him, who's the last team to win every game in the season and make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl? Well, it was Miami the one time, right? I think they're the only team to ever do it. And you watch the Patriots in the midst of their dynasty with one of the greatest teams of all time lose in the Super Bowl after having a season without losses. Otherwise, nobody's done it. Kansas City lost some bad games last year. Two. One for sure. But they just lost some really, really bad games. It happens, man. It happens. Good teams have bad weeks. And it's like, I get nervous watching people react this way because it's just a massive overreaction to a tough week. If we had 2 of these in a row, 3 of these in a row, yeah, it's time to be concerned, right? But this is an N of 1, a data point of 1, or you could say a data point of 2 because there's 2 losses, but you also have 5 data points of wins and some very, very big wins and offensive scoring that has been off the charts. This just didn't work, man. That first half was a disaster. And I think if the second half would have been the first half, the Lions had a chance to win that game. But it's just they could not get over the hump. So, oh well. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Yeah, we're gonna keep saying it. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. We need to think about how hurt people have been by the Lions in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about how Matt Patricia touched me in my Lions fandom.
I'm sorry.
I'm not the only one that's been hurt like that. But we need to try to stop the same old Lions fans from coming out.
Yeah.
This team isn't the same as other blowouts that we've seen, and we need to, like you said earlier, Chris, this happens again. This happens versus the Raiders. Then maybe we get a little concerned. Then it happens out of the bye. Then yeah. Now we start freaking out. Now it makes sense. But one game does not make the same old Lions, but apparently it can make the same old Lions fans. So we'll have to figure that out.
That's why I hated that whole stupid brand new Lions thing. It's like all that does is anchor you to the SOL. It makes that it carries that forward, right? And it's just like just stop. Like if that's that, either you're a troll, which is fine, I guess they exist, or you're just there for the losses. Like you enjoy the pain, right? And maybe you're looking for someone to step on your nuts with a heel or something. I don't know. Maybe that's the way you go. That's fine. Everyone has their own kinks. But like dragging other people in without consent, that's not okay. Just drop it and move on. Oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, so let's take a look at this. We've got Monday night at the Ravens, against the Raiders next week. We will absolutely have a post-game show from that one. Next week, we won't have a live show during the week because Friday is November 3rd, is our 24-hour St. Jude fundraise-a-thon. Good times, good fun. Make sure you join us for that. We start at 9 a.m. Friday morning. We'll go till 9 a.m. Saturday morning. And I'm still trying to chase my voice from the Tampa game last week, Andy. I'm hoping I'm fully healed by then, but I hope I didn't actually damage my pipes here.
That happens.
Yeah.
I told you. I said when I first became a Lions season ticket holder, and we were screaming all game, every game, trying to will this team to wins. Yeah, it took me like 2 years worth of I had to I needed like a vocal coach to warm me up and get those muscles going.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
all that says to me, Chris, is that we need to get you to more Lions games.
Yeah. Good or bad, I'll be loud. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink so far?
Hi, this is Ivars calling you from Latvia.
Hey, how's it going, Ivars?
Hey.
I've had a few. I just wanted to talk about the JMO catch, or non-catch, you should say. And the fact that this is the second week in a row that he's looked over the wrong shoulder first. What do you guys think? Is that him? Is it coaching, or he's not listening? What's your take?
It's probably a little bit of both, or all three. I think it is concerning when your role on a team is to be a deep threat, and you don't seem to have that mastered or are prepared for that role. You could argue that the one last week, Goff, it was like a little inside when it probably should have been outside. But at the same time, he was near the sideline, so there wasn't a lot of room for Goff to throw it to the outside. Today, though, that ball clearly is going outside, and that's where you need to look. And, I don't know if the drop was because he looked inside first, had to reach back around, and then, by the time he did that, it was too late. But, yeah, we're getting to the point of it being unacceptable. This isn't a one-off thing. It's becoming a trend that we need to be concerned about.
Well, I kind of agree that we need to be concerned about it, but I really believe that him not making the catch today doesn't mean anything, because I think he's going to make a catch somewhere down the road where he's going to win us a game, maybe 2 or 3.
It's that's possible for sure, and I want to see it. I want to see him do well for us. It's just he's not getting a lot of snaps because he's not ultra reliable. And that's what this offense kind of is. Goff needs people where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there, and they need to make catches. They can't take too many drops. That's kind of the way that we're built. And J-Mo just needs to get up to speed with that. You're not going to catch every long ball, but he needs to work in some intermediate stuff too.
Yeah, he's got to run his wheel route on time. He's got to not give it up. I mean, that's the frustrating part. Like your route, you run it every time. The thing about Amon-Ra, he runs his routes beautifully. The other thing, and this is what I was going to go into when when Campbell came to the phone. The thing I noticed today about Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I should have noticed it earlier, and I haven't heard a whole lot of people talking about it, but he is very much in the kind of mold of Golden Tate. He rolls out of and he avoids hits just magically. Like there was a lot of times he'll catch the ball and you'll see and he'll just kind of tuck down and go down, right? And he avoids the big hit. And it's like, oh, well, why doesn't he? But there was a great play today that shows where he got the ball, he turned, he knew he was going to bounce off the guy for the hit, took 3 steps, got another 1.5 yards, and then the big hit was coming. He rolls down, doesn't take the hit. It's beautiful. It's a great way to prevent getting injured, not taking damage, all that, right? I watch these guys. I know they all believe in J-Mo. And J-Mo and there's some, Goff hasn't had always great throws of J-Mo. J-Mo's dropped some good throws. He's one part of a much, much bigger picture. And I know he's polarizing, and I know people want something to hang the victories and losses on. And he's like an easy target right now because, hey, he was an early pick. But I'll just put it out here. And this is why, like, I try to avoid the J-Mo talk, but you really can't. But even if he's an absolute bust, yeah, it sucks that we spent the treasure on him. Yeah, it sucks that we got a guy early in the first round and he just couldn't work out. We spent the time and effort and all that stuff on him. But you know what? Brad Holmes has still got a better record of drafting than 95% of the GMs out there. End of story. Every GM has busts. Every GM picks guys that are bad. And I'm going to tell you, if this is bad, Holmes will learn from it and move on. But people will still hang it and hang on and will never, ever let go. It's funny. I don't know what it's going to take. Fandom is a fickle thing. And it's kind of funny watching people react and hold on to things. And I think about those dynasty years from the Patriots. There were still, SOP fans out there like, oh, we've only got 3 Super Bowls. We could have had 5. It's like, oh, for Christ's sake, right? They're always there. It's about fun. It's about enjoyment. Just enjoy it. Just go with it. See how it plays out. It's gonna okay. It's okay.
I got 2 points, and I'll get out of here. One is, why does Amon-Ra avoid the hits? Well, he's the sun god. Come on, Chris. And the second point is that I like the coaching on J-Mo's faceball. They went right back at him. They gave him a chance. I really like the coaching. And I'll hang up and listen to your take.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, Ivars, our Latvian
Thank
lion, joining us, man. Pretty good time.
That is true. After that bad play, the coaches didn't stop going to him.
No,
you can't. He's got to work it out.
Yep. And he will or he won't. And we'll see it. It's all about getting a little better every week, as Easy Does It says. And that's what we're after. Really quick, speaking about getting a little better, we could use your help getting a little better, a little juicier. Hit that like button. you're sitting here watching, having a good time, hit the like button, give us some love, help other people find us. We appreciate that. Tricky was one that found us recently, and a bunch of people found us recently. Even a Vikings fan found us and loves to hang out and watch and join us for the show. Appreciate when you hit the like button, and also subscribe so you know when we go live. We got a lot of content. We've got daily content rolling. I think it's been going now for over 2 weeks, every day, something but without a break. But since the beginning of the season, I think we've only missed 3 days of having new content for you on the channel. So it's good stuff. Check it out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We ask once per show. We appreciate you folks when you do that, and it means a lot to us. Thank you so much for helping us do our thing. Log pants. So all the haters, listen up. We lost today, bad, but they did not stop playing. That's a great point, and it's just one game. They did not stop out there. That was really, really indicative of what kind of team Dan Campbell has put together. At the end there, Amon-Ra with that. I think it was his last catch of the game. It was the second to last, but getting in the face, or the defender got in his face, and he stood there and he went mass to mass with him, and he was like, nope, that's pride, man. That is pride. And to carry that kind of pride at that point was good. And it's again, it says a lot about this team and who they are and what they're made of. And this isn't going to stick. This is just going to motivate. You feeling it, Andy?
I agree. It's hard on losses like this. There really isn't a whole lot to talk about because everything was just so darn bad that there's very few things we could talk about. Gibbs and how he looked better the more touches he got. He broke a couple. He obviously scored his first NFL touchdown today.
Good stuff, yeah.
It's hard to say what kind of runner he's going to be. He broke a couple today that looked good. But at the same time, the Ravens were already winning by 28. So it's hard to say, what kind of defense they're playing. They're probably not playing the run super hard.
Yeah.
But these are all stepping stones, right? Gibbs is coming off the injury. He gets more work. He scores his first touchdown, and hopefully he can build off that. Depending. Hopefully Montgomery is not out for too long, but I definitely don't feel as concerned as I did entering this game when it comes to our running backs room. Craig looked, good in his couple of spots, and Gibbs looked good. So one less thing to worry about as long as Jerry Jacobs comes back healthy and we don't have to play 25 out wide.
Yeah, that one stunk, man. Losing Jerry at the last minute like that really hurts. Little knee job. We'll get through that. Here's something for folks that say, hey, why don't we run Gibbs or JMO in returns? Mo Ibrahim. That's all I'm gonna say. No, you don't play scared, but you don't put those kind of caliber players that you're trying to grow. The last thing you want is something like that to happen to JMO after everything else, because you'll basically have spent his entire contract injured or suspended, and that's no good. This is another one. Has Hutch earned a holding call yet this year? I'm stunned, Andy. Holding is, I keep saying it, right? Everyone's, there's holding on every play. Sure. Okay, there's holding on every play. Fine. Then it shouldn't be a 10-yard penalty. If we all just say it happens all the time and that's it, then it's a minor penalty. It's not a 10-yard penalty, right? But it's not.
Yep.
It seems like it's almost as, what's the word? Dang it. Not defined by data. Not quantify. Anyway, whatever. It's subjective. That's the word I'm looking for. It's as subjective as PI, it seems like. I mean, it's not, right? Holding is a pretty clear rule, but when it's called and how it's called is as subjective as PI, which wasn't called on JMO, which was egregious. That was another egregious failure. I mean, officiating today was historically bad. I had my friend, he's a Giants fan, and he said, what's going on? Lions need to wake up, right? And I'm like, I know. Is it me, or is it, am I biased, or am I seeing some really shitty officiating? He's like, well, I'm watching the Giants right now, but for you, I'll just say the officiating is probably pretty shitty.
So, yeah, and the officials didn't cost us the game by any stretch. But there's something about the way that Hutch rushes that he doesn't get holding calls. I honestly, I'm not sure what it is. It could be, because he flails on every play trying to get around people. He's constantly moving and swimming, that it's not as easy to see when somebody has him by the shoulder pad as it is when somebody else is just pushing forward. I'm not sure. There was a couple today that they called on Sewell that, when they showed the replay, it was like, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I guess technically. But like you said, Chris, it happens every play.
But I'm seeing freaking Hutchinson's shoulder pad in orbit, right? And nobody's what? Hello, nothing. Okay. And then again, the PI on JMO, the hit from OBJ and Log Pants says it's dirty. I don't know that it was dirty. I think he was just pushing forward, but it was absolutely a penalty. It was absolutely a penalty, and Sandman mentioned it on the Twitter machine. He's going to get a call from a league. I guarantee there's going to be a fine on that one.
Oh yeah, probably a big one.
Yeah. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
It's from the UP, and I've had quite a few. Between the finish long drinks and the 51Ks. I'm going to have more.
It's a good day for a lot of drinks, my friend. I think I was telling Andy before we started, I think I might be footballed out today. I might, after this, I'll get everything put up and I just might throw the PlayStation controller in my hand and just have some brews, play some Call of Duty, just take out my frustrations on something else because this is a tough one.
Well, the Denver team's putting their FTP foot forward here. We can.
That's freaking great.
Say it's not I control it, but
6-0. Cheese.
We take the wins we can get,
That government cheese has
right.
holes. That's right. 6-0. Broncos are stampeding. I think that's what they would say in the headlines. Broncos stampede the Packers, right?
Let's ride, or something.
Oh man. So what do you got for us, brother? What's going on in the UP today?
It's a beautiful day up here, minus the viewing pleasure on the television. But I got something that just a little alarming for me. Can't believe Ben Johnson hasn't figured out yet, because more than today, it's been going on all season long. Yeah. What do you got to do to get the ball in Penei Sewell's hands?
We got it in his hands today. Goff did a very strategic fumble into Penei Sewell's hands.
Yeah. I mean,
Penei did his best Barry impression.
Yeah.
0 drops last season. Everything he had was a first down, I don't know, and just he's been held out this year.
What about Matt Nelson?
Got to adjust the thinking there.
Bringing Nelson in on the right side. He's not uninjured, right? Am I remembering right? He's still healthy, right? Matt Nelson. I don't think he's on IR.
Yeah, that's great.
For some reason, it just hit me that maybe he went to IR for some reason. But you get Matt Nelson on the right side. You bring Sewell in the backfield as a fullback. Yeah. And he just let him plow. Because I think he would absolutely destroy anybody. I mean, 2-3 hits on the defense, right? And then just
hurt somebody, yeah.
It's like one of those trains with those big snow plows in the front, just blowing shit out all over the place, right? I mean, that'd be crazy to see Sewell do that. That'd be fun. Oh man. Maybe later in the season when everything's locked up. We'll get there.
Right. I was gonna say maybe first playoff game, pull out all the stops because we got streaks to break,
Yeah.
I like it. I do like it.
Yep.
Or just put them one back there. Put them at halfback.
Yeah.
Oh,
defend yourself, defense.
Put Rodrigo at right tackle.
Oh my God. Sewell back at halfback. Gibbs, Montgomery, and Reynolds split out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go.
Get Amon-Ra in there a little bit just to throw him off.
The iron package or something. I don't know. We gotta,
That's crazy. I mean, there'd be a lot of fun. They could have a lot of fun. So we'll see. All right, brother. We're gonna let you go. All right. Thank you for calling. I hope all goes well in the UP. Stay good. Stay strong. It's just 1 week. We'll all get better from this.
That's right.
All right, brother.
We got her from here.
Yeah.
Hardest game on schedule was today. They got everything to beat the Lions. Got
Yep.
mobile quarterback, great tight end, veteran coach, like playing not in a dome. All the things that don't play to the Lions' strengths. We had, see Carolina, New England last year. We're fine.
And that's why it's important to win it out this season. You know what I mean? Because we could have home field advantage.
Yeah. Oh, I think we still can. The hardest game left on our schedule is Dallas. I think everybody figured that out. But for San Fran
or the Chargers,
tougher division. The Eagles, tougher division.
They play each other.
More margin for error there. Yeah, they play each other. Yes, absolutely right. Like, there's more margin for error. Like, there's no reason to get too upset over this game. It was hard to watch. I will agree.
Yeah,
but
I had my capture card to curse at, so that made things all right for me. I had multiple pain and anger going on, so I didn't know which way to swing, which fist to swing, which direction.
Chris, you still got the high going from last week at Tampa. Like, that was.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine. I knew a bunch of guys up here that were down there, and they said they were going to a tailgate party, and I said, who's? Like, I was trying to figure out if it was yours. I still have no idea, but they're at the mine. I'm at the mill. So I didn't get to talk to them, but.
Yeah, I am absolutely high.
They had fun. It looked like a ball. I got so many videos of just another away team takeover, and so we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Just a stumble.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It wasn't just the Lions though, because I got to spend time with Andy last week. That was one of the highlights of the weekend too. It's always good to see my man, Sandman. We were holding hands in the stands. It was nice.
It was nice.
That's cute. That's cute.
All right, my man. We'll talk to you. Thanks for calling in. All right.
All right, let's ride.
All right, let's ride. Oh man, that feels like something a curse just got set upon us. Oh man, yep. There was nothing. This was a Sunday where this team wasn't going to beat anybody. It wasn't Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, although they were definitely on. I don't know there's a team out there that we would have beaten today. I'm glad this team showed up against the Ravens instead of the Bears, because I can just imagine the tire fire in a dumpster that would be going on right now in the chat if that was the case, man. Whew.
And we talked about it earlier. I'd rather lose against a good team than have a close one against a bad team.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I mean, look, I'm officially off the Goff bandwagon. Draft J.J. McCarthy. Wow.
Why do we need to draft J.J. McCarthy? We already have Hendon Hooker.
I know.
The heir apparent. Heir apparent.
I would have liked to see Hooker actually today. I really would have liked to see him towards the end of the game, just get some passes in, get some experience. I don't know. We are. I guess it was, the guy. I don't think he was probably dressed. It was probably just the guy that the journalists tweeted their inside info about, but then they didn't because they didn't have a second source or whatever. Teddy, two gloves. Journalism.
I'm actually shocked we didn't see Teddy Two Gloves today.
Yeah.
It would have been this is the kind of game that you just protect Goff and move on.
Yep. MVP numbers from that guy. I mean, that's what we've seen so far. Even with this game today, we've got an MVP number quarterback, and we'll see. Skipper at fullback. Skipper's a guy who actually would probably enjoy the shit out of that role. He is a violent man at heart. Like like he's the guy that you're rolling down a dark alley. You don't know what the hell he's going to do. You really don't offend him. You don't step out of line. Skip's the guy that has a temper. I would love to see him get the opportunity. Make him block for about a good quarter and a half to get that temper flaring, right? To get him real juiced up, and then give him the ball and let him punish some mofos, because I think he would tear out the entire defense. He would aim for people. He's not trying to sidestep anybody. He's going right through them, man. Oh, you think that OBJ hit was ugly today? Skip's he's gonna spear people. His head will go through their chest and come out the backside like a bad kung fu movie from the 70s.
They need to use him in the red zone, that's for sure. 6'9". Shoot.
He's got
just
the
have him
stretch.
waltz over into the corner.
Yeah. Extra pickles. I would have been happy to lose by a 67-yard field goal. Not me. not me. I've had enough of those heartbreakers. I'm fine with a blowout because I know that's not who this team is. That's not who these Detroit Lions are. It's all fine. This is just a crappy game. Just a crappy game. All right. Well, hey man, I'm feeling like we got it covered. Folks, look, don't panic. Don't hit the panic button. Don't panic on what JMO is. Don't panic on Goff. We got some guys that are injured. Let's see what the injury report gives us. We got an extra day to get some guys back here. Hopefully we'll have Jerry back. Interception leader in the NFL. The guy who, what was it, week 2 we were told isn't an NFL caliber cornerback. Where are you people at? It's nothing to panic about. It's a long season. There's a lot to play. And I hate to take words from this guy. As a matter of fact, before I do, I just want to kind of get this out here to kind of inoculate everybody. In the words of the former quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, RELAX. They were on absolute fire. They were in terrible shape when he said that, and they came back, made the playoffs, and made a little bit of a run into the playoffs. All right? Enjoy. It's okay. This is part of the ride. This is going to fire the team up. This is one game. This is a 5-2 team still. Break that out a little further, you're 10-4. That's not bad. 10-4 is not bad. Say you split the rest. We'll say 2 wins because that's the ratio, right? You're 12-5. That's a hell of a season. That's a hell of a season for anything. And right now we're 5-2 against the most difficult part of the schedule. I think, again, I go back. I think it was top 2 or 3 level of difficulty in the NFL. The schedule we had from here in previous. We've got a weak ass schedule for the rest of the season. Bodes well for this team. Don't panic. Don't worry about it. Team's not panicking. You didn't see Dan Campbell on the sideline losing his shit, throwing his headset, throwing a tantrum, any of that. You saw him in the post game, had it together, had some good takes. Wasn't playoffs. It wasn't losing it, right? It was none of that shit. He was there. It was all good, and you folks need to take that lead and follow your coach because I think he understands a lot better where this team is and where we're going. So no worries. It's okay. Skipper's face looks like an accountant and his demeanor an assassin.
I saw that Ben Affleck movie.
Oh, man. All right. Well, with that, let's all relax, enjoy. There's some good stuff to do. Like I said, like everyone says, there's football going. The Wings are playing. I saw that they were up 1-0. That's good. Got the old PlayStation. Fire up some Call of Duty. Look for me out there. I'll look for you. We'll go out and play some games. But find something to chill. Don't worry about it. It's an easy week. It's okay. We'll get through it. Just like we always have. We've been through a lot worse together. Andy, I want to thank you for joining. Again, you're awesome. I love having you on the post game. It's been a great year for post game shows. Had such a good cast of characters joining us. Appreciate everyone who's been here. But Andy and I go back to the very, very beginning, to the Silverdome blowjobs at the door.
Always a nice break after a game to stop fighting with people on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
There's some big fights happening today.
Oh God! Don't mention JMO anywhere. People get hurt. It's an emotional thing. You'd do better by saying something about someone's mom than you would talking about JMO at this point because he is absolutely polarizing. All right. Well, it's 5-2 against your mom right now, so we'll move on. Not you, Andy. I mean, those people. We'll call it a show. Really quick, want to say don't forget about us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Help us fix this video. You get access to the Slack if you do $5 or more per month. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Also follow us on Twitter. Hit a like before you leave. Follow us on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast and at Sandman7773. Also check out the YouTube Sandman7773 YouTube channel. He's got the great. I mean, the slow lights are fantastic. I watched the Tampa Bay ones twice. Everything Tampa Bay I watched twice because it was so good. But don't forget to check him out. Follow him there as well. And on the Twitter. Call us on Skype. Detroit Lions Podcast, all one word, Detroit Lions Podcast, or call us on the Lions line at 248-782-8384, 248-RUB-UFUG, and show up at DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Subscribe to the podcast so we can pop into your ears automatically. That's what we do. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs, no problems, because we are your Detroit Lions and Reddit connection. We'll win against Raiders. Don't worry. Monday night's going to be fun.